Hello, welcome to the weekly highlights program on Azərbaycan Television with the major developments of the week. I'm your host İlham Məmmədov. First, let's take a brief look at some of the top stories of this week. On July 3rd, İlham Əliyev, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, and Shavkat Mirziyoyev, President of the Republic of Uzbekistan, visited the Business Text JV sewing factory, a joint Azerbaijani-Uzbek enterprise in Xankəndi, to review its operations. On July 4th, the 17th summit of the Economic Cooperation Organization commenced in the city of Xankəndi. President İlham Əliyev addressed the summit. On July 2nd, an official welcome ceremony was held for Shavkat Mirziyoyev, President of the Republic of Uzbekistan, who arrived in Azerbaijan for a state visit.
President of Azerbaijan İlham Əliyev welcomed President of Uzbekistan Shavkat Mirziyoyev. The Chief of the Guard of Honor reported to the President of Uzbekistan.
Cənab Özbəkistan Respublikasının Prezidenti, sizin Azərbaycan Respublikasına gəlməyiniz şərəfinə fəxri qaral düzülüb.
The national anthems of the Republic of Uzbekistan and the Republic of Azerbaijan were played. The Guard of Honor marched in front of President İlham Əliyev and President Shavkat Mirziyoyev to the accompaniment of a military march. The presidents posed for official photographs.
İlham Əliyev, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, held a one-on-one meeting with Shavkat Mirziyoyev, President of the Republic of Uzbekistan. The second meeting of the Azerbaijan-Uzbekistan Supreme Interstate Council was held in Baku with the participation of İlham Əliyev, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, and Shavkat Mirziyoyev, President of the Republic of Uzbekistan.
Greeting President of Uzbekistan Shavkat Mirziyoyev, the other state once again welcomed him and his delegation to Azerbaijan, expressing his confidence that the state visit of the President of Uzbekistan will mark another important stage in the development of fraternal relations between the two countries. The other state added that Azerbaijan and Uzbekistan are friends and brothers, and since the signing of the Treaty on Allied Relations, they have been allies. Noting that during the second meeting of the Supreme Interstate Council, they will hear reports, give further instructions on implementing their decisions, and determine a program of events for at least the next few months, President Ilham Aliyev underlined that the two countries share common history, culture, language, and ethnic affinity. Noting that regular contacts are also carried out at the level of government members and heads of various institutions, the other state pointed out that another meeting of the Intergovernmental Commission was recently held. Stressing that they will hear the results and in principle they will be pleased with them, the President said as they agreed and instructed members of the two governments, they were monitoring the decisions and the implementations. Thanking President Ilham Aliyev, President of Uzbekistan Shavkat Mirziyoyev said they come to Azerbaijan with great pleasure, as if to their own home, as if visiting their brothers. On my own behalf and on behalf of our delegation, I express my gratitude for the warm welcome extended to us from the moment of our arrival. I would like to thank you for this specifically, said Shavkat Mirziyoyev. Noting that the relations between the two countries in recent years reached a completely new level and they are now allies, President of Uzbekistan said an alliance means that they are already close neighbors and close friends. Saying that they continue to address numerous issues together, in a narrow format today they discuss their shared history in depth. The other state added that much had been missed in the past, but together they were catching up. We will instruct our governments to continue this process and ensuring that all issues under our joint control will be fully resolved, said Shavkat Mirziyoyev.
A document exchange ceremony between the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Republic of Uzbekistan was held on July 2nd with the participation of President of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev and President of Uzbekistan Shavkat Mirziyoyev.
Minister of Agriculture of Azerbaijan Rövşən Məmmədov and Minister of Agriculture of Uzbekistan Ibrahim Abdurrahmanov exchanged the practical action plan for the future development of cooperation in the fields of agriculture and food security for 2025-2027 between the Ministry of Agriculture of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Ministry of Agriculture of the Republic of Uzbekistan. Minister of Digital Development and Transport of Azerbaijan Rashad Nabiev and Minister of Transport of Uzbekistan Ilham exchanged the protocol of intent and cooperation in the fields of shipping and shipbuilding between the Ministry of Digital Development and Transport of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Ministry of Transport of the Republic of Uzbekistan. Minister of Economy of Azerbaijan Mikhail Jabbarov and Minister of Investment, Industry and Trade of Uzbekistan Laziz Kudratov exchanged the action plan to ensure the formation and implementation of comprehensive measures and projects to increase trade turnover between the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Republic of Uzbekistan to $1 billion by 2030, and the program of industrial cooperation between the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Republic of Uzbekistan for 2025-2027. Minister of Science and Education of Azerbaijan Emin Amirullayev and Minister of Higher Education, Science and Innovations of Uzbekistan Kogratbay Sharipov exchanged the agreement on cooperation in the fields of science, vocational education and higher education between the government of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the government of the Republic of Uzbekistan. Minister of Foreign Affairs of Azerbaijan Ceyhun Bayramov and Minister of Foreign Affairs of Uzbekistan Bakhtiar Saidov exchanged the action plan for 2025-2027 on the implementation of the Memorandum of Understanding and Cooperation in the field of social protection between the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection of the Population of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the National Agency for Social Protection under the President of the Republic of Uzbekistan. The agreement on the mutual recognition of authorized economic operator institutions between the State Customs Committee of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Customs Committee under the Ministry of Economy and Finance of the Republic of Uzbekistan. The agreement between the Government of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Government of the Republic of Uzbekistan on organizing information exchange regarding cloned, stolen, lost, and crime-related mobile devices. The agreement between the Government of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Government of the Republic of Uzbekistan on cooperation in the field of environmental protection. And the roadmap for 2025-2029 on implementing the Treaty on Allied Relations between the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Republic of Uzbekistan. The document signed during the visit also included the protocol establishing sister city relations between the city of Sumgayit and Tashkent province, the protocol establishing sister city relations between the cities of Gabala and Navoiy, the protocol on cooperation in developing the service delivery system for children with special needs between the DOST Inclusive Development and Creativity Center of the Agency for Sustainable and Operational Social Security under the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection of the Population of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Imkon Rehabilitation Center, a state multidisciplinary specialized preschool educational institution of the National Social Protection Agency under the President of the Republic of Uzbekistan, and the Protocol on Cooperation in Developing the Service Delivery System for Children with Special Needs and Socially Vulnerable Groups between the DOS Inclusive Development and Creativity Center of the Agency for Sustainable and Operational Social Security under the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection of the Population of the Republic of Azerbaijan, and the International Inclusive Hub, International Inclusive Career-Oriented Educational Center of the National Social Protection Agency under the President of the Republic of Uzbekistan. Ilham Aliyev, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, and Shavkat Mirziyoyev, President of the Republic of Uzbekistan, signed the decision of the second meeting of the Supreme Interstate Council of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Republic of Uzbekistan.
President of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev and President of Uzbekistan Shavkat Mirziyoyev made press statements on July 2nd. On July 2nd, Ilham Aliyev, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, and Shavkat Mirziyoyev, President of the Republic of Uzbekistan, laid the foundation stone for the Uzbekistan Park in Baku.
The Uzbekistan Park is a large-scale cultural and recreational project that will create a unique space showcasing the rich history, architecture and culture of Uzbekistan, featuring regions such as Tashkent, Samarkand, Bukhara, Khiva and Kokand. Spanning 5 hectares, the park will be designed in the shape of Uzbekistan's map. It will house a museum, cinema, amphitheater, tower, restaurants and cafes, offering Uzbek national cuisine, a commercial area, souvenir and gift shops, a zoo and a hotel. The park's main structures will reflect architectural landmarks from Bukhara, Samarkand and Khiva. The park, which will be established in Baku's White City, stands as a symbol of the long-standing brotherhood and friendship between the states and peoples of Azerbaijan and Uzbekistan.
On July 2nd, Ilham Aliyev, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, and Shavkat Mirziyoyev, President of the Republic of Uzbekistan, attended the inauguration of the new building of Uzbekistan's embassy in Baku.
The heads of state cut the symbolic ribbon, officially marking the opening of the new embassy building. Presidents Ilham Aliyev and Shavkat Mirziyoyev toured the embassy, familiarizing themselves with its infrastructure and the facilities provided for diplomats. The new complex, built to modern standards, is set to contribute to the further development of the multifaceted strategic partnership and allied relations between the two Brazilian nations.
President Ilham Aliyev and President of Uzbekistan Shavkat Mirziyoyev visited Sea Breeze Recreation Center, located on the shore of the Caspian Sea.
Emin Ağalarov, founder of Sea Breeze, briefed the heads of state on the projects completed and planned at the resort. Spanning 500 hectares, Sea Breeze has completed and commissioned over 3 million square meters of residential and commercial real estate. More than 500 properties have been constructed, with over 20,000 residents currently living there. By 2028, this number is expected to exceed 50,000, with a long-term goal of accommodating 500,000 people upon full completion. Plans also include the creation of a new crescent-shaped artificial peninsula covering 50 hectares. Over 150 hectares have been dedicated to recreational zones, parks, and beaches. Essential infrastructure, including a school, kindergarten, and hospital, ensures comfortable living and leisure for residents and visitors. Landscaping efforts have resulted in planting approximately 10 million plants and trees, expanding green areas to 300 hectares. Located just 30 minutes from Baku's city center, Sea Breeze combines various real estate types and is considered a unique global project. Its main developments are along the coastline. The resort currently employs 6,560 people, with plans to significantly increase staff in the future. Total investment has reached $3 billion, with over $10 billion more planned over the next 5 years. The renowned Uzbek brand, the Choykhona restaurant, operates within the resort. Emin Ağalarov also presented the updated master plan for the Sea Breeze Uzbekistan project, which will be developed near the Charvak Reservoir.
On July 3rd, President Ilham Aliyev visited Fizuli and Khankendi.
Rövşən Məmmədov, chairman of the board of the State Agency of Azerbaijan Automobile Roads, briefed President Ilham Aliyev on the completed works. Constructed under the first state program on the Great Return to the Liberated Territories of the Republic of Azerbaijan, this highway holds strategic importance for diversifying the national road network and improving transportation links between the region and other parts of the country. The existing road was 101 kilometers long, while the newly constructed highway spans 81.7 kilometers, reducing the distance by 19.3 kilometers. Designed to meet first-class technical standards, the initial 48 kilometers of the road features 6 lanes, with the remaining 33.7 kilometers comprising 4 lanes. The project includes 1 interchange, 11 bridges, 7 tunnels, 6 viaducts, underpasses, and other key infrastructure. The total length of the bridges is 1,557 meters. Notably, concrete work on some viaducts was performed using the horizontal sliding formwork method, marking a first in Azerbaijan. The road is also equipped with reinforced concrete and metal guardrails as well as lighting system. The Ahmed Beyli Fizuli Shasha Highway, which originates from the Hacı Gabul, Horadiz, Aghban, Zengezur corridor highway, connects Fizuli, Khojavan, Khojali, and Shasha. Additionally, it forms a vital part of international transport corridors passing through Azerbaijan. The highway is also expected to significantly boost tourism and economic activity in the region. Rashad Nabiyev, Minister of Digital Development and Transport, and Rövşən Rustamov, chairman of Azerbaijan Railways Closed Joint Stock Company, briefed the head of state on the planned works in the Ağdam-Xankəndi railway project. The Ağdam-Xankəndi railway line, an extension of the Berdağdam railway, spans 28 kilometers. The design work for the railway, which includes 4 bridges, 5 overpasses, 3 pedestrian crossings, 2 drainage pipes, and other infrastructure, has been completed. The project envisions constructing 3 stations, Askeran and Khojali stations, and the Xankəndi railway and bus terminal complex, along with the engineering structures, bridges, overpasses, and crossings for vehicles, pedestrians, and agricultural purposes. The project is scheduled for implementation between 2025 and 2026. Design work for the Xankəndi Railway and Bus Terminal complex has already begun. The complex will cover an area of 6.4 hectares. The 5-story facility will include 2 railway platforms and 12 bus stops. The building will house a waiting hall, ticket counters, a medical point, a mother and child room, shops, restaurants, administrative and meeting rooms, a children's entertainment center, an open terrace, and recreational areas. The railway section of the complex is designed to serve 800 to 1,000 passengers daily, while the bus terminal will accommodate 1,000 to 1,200 passengers per day. The Ağdam-Xankəndi Railway was originally constructed in 1979 under the initiative and leadership of national leader Heydər Əliyev. The national leader consistently emphasized the development of Karabakh, prioritizing the establishment of railway lines in the region. The opening of the Bakuyevla-Xankəndi Railway significantly accelerated the socio-economic and cultural development of Karabakh. Elçin Yusupov, special representative of the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan in the city of Xankəndi and Ağdərə and Xocalı districts, briefed the head of state on the project. Construction of Victory Park, the foundation of which was led by President İlham Əliyev in February this year, is progressing rapidly. The park, spanning 8.3 hectares, has seen the demolition of several structures built during the occupation period in violation of construction standards and deemed unfit for use. At the park center, the construction of the Victory Arch, symbolizing Azerbaijan's triumph, is underway. The arch will stand 44 meters tall, corresponding to the number of days of the Patriotic War. A viewing platform at the top of the arch will offer visitors a panoramic view of the city. Moreover, 44 symbolic steps leading from the central plaza to the Victory Arch are planned, with each step featuring information about the settlements liberated during each day of the Patriotic War. Elevators will be installed to ensure easy access to the viewing platform for elderly people, children, and individuals with physical disabilities. The project also includes the creation of extensive green spaces. While preserving existing trees, over 300 additional trees and more than 9,000 various decorative shrubs have been planted in the park's territory. Ramin Guluzadeh, head of the President's Administrative Services Department, briefed the head of state on the facilities established at the center. The 4-story Xankəndi Business Center covers over 4,500 square meters and includes 24 office spaces and 6 meeting rooms. The center also houses the Safiri Cafe and Terrace restaurant, which accommodates 120 guests, along with the stationery and printing services, dry cleaning and laundry facilities. As part of the reconstruction efforts in the liberated territories, the center is designed to meet functional management principles and high service standards. It aims to provide a modern and comfortable business environment for residents' companies. Intended for various entrepreneurial and corporate entities, the center will also help increase employment opportunities. In its initial phase, the business center will employ 20 people, 12 of whom are residents of Xankəndi, Xocalı, Şuşa, and other liberated territories, including one veteran of the Patriotic War. The launch of this modern facility is expected to play a significant role in fostering a business environment in Xankəndi, a historic Azerbaijani city following its liberation. The center will support job creation and contribute to the city's overall development. Equipped with modern technical facilities, the Congress Center covers an area of 6,500 square meters. It features event halls accommodating 600 people in a theatrical setup and 350 in a banquet setup, as well as meeting rooms, conference rooms, and other multi-purpose spaces. Combining modern design with national architectural traditions, the center's building offers extensive opportunities for hosting congresses, conferences, seminars, business meetings, and other nationally and internationally significant events. In its initial phase of operation, the Xankəndi Congress Center has provided 12 permanent jobs, 8 of which are held by residents of Xankəndi, Xocalı, Kəlbəcər, and other territories liberated from occupation. With its high functionality and modern design, the Xankəndi Congress Center is one of the key projects contributing to the socio-economic development of Azerbaijan's liberated territories. The head of state was briefed on the technical specifications of the cable car project. The Xankəndi cable car will span approximately 6,000 meters. The elevation will be 844 meters in Xankəndi and 1,317 meters in Şuşa. The travel time is expected to be up to 13 minutes with a speed of 8 meters per second. The implementation of this project will not only contribute to the development of tourism, but also play a significant role in ensuring convenient travel between Xankəndi and Şuşa in both directions.
On July 3rd, Ilham Aliyev, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, and Shavkat Mirziyoyev, President of the Republic of Uzbekistan, visited the Business Text JV sewing factory, a joint Azerbaijani-Uzbek enterprise in Xankəndi, to review its operations.
The factory produces 150 types of men's clothing, 300 types of women's clothing, and 150 types of children's clothing using various fabrics. Plans are in place to produce men's shirts, special purpose garments, and military uniforms in the future. Currently, the factory manufactures 2,500 units of various knitwear products daily, with plans to increase this to 10,000 units. 80% of the products are intended for export to various countries. In the initial phase of the project, 250 professionally trained individuals have been employed, with a total of 500 jobs expected to be created. The factory primarily employs residents returning to the territories liberated from occupation and those from surrounding districts. The initial investment value of the project is 6 million manat, with joint industrial cooperation established for raw material procurement. The factory operates using raw materials from Azerbaijan, Turkey, Uzbekistan, and China. The Azerbaijan Business Development Fund under the Ministry of Economy provided a concessional loan of 3.5 million manat for the factory's establishment, along with approximately 640,000 manat in exemptions from VAT and customs duties. The factory's operations will significantly contribute to the growth of non-oil exports in the region. The Khankandi sewing factory was established in line with the directives of the heads of state of Azerbaijan and Uzbekistan to deepen economic and investment cooperation. This joint Azerbaijani-Uzbek enterprise serves as a symbol of a successful collaboration between the two countries. The project not only creates new opportunities for the development of light industry in Azerbaijan, but also contributes to strengthening the traditional friendship and economic partnership between Azerbaijan and Uzbekistan.
On July 3rd, President Ilham Aliyev received Rashid Meredov, Deputy Chairman of the Cabinet of Ministers and Minister of Foreign Affairs of Turkmenistan, in Khankandi.
Rashid Meredov conveyed greetings from Gurbanguly Berdimuhamedov, national leader of the Turkmen people and chairman of the Halk Maslahati of Turkmenistan, as well as from Serdar Berdimuhamedov, president of Turkmenistan, to the Azerbaijani head of state. President Ilham Aliyev expresses gratitude for the greetings and asks Rashid Meredov to extend his regards to the nationwide leader, the president, and the brotherly Turkmen people. The deputy chairman of Turkmenistan's cabinet of ministers noted that he was deeply impressed by the restoration and reconstruction efforts in Karabakh and expressed admiration for the region's natural beauty. During the meeting, both sides reaffirmed the brotherly ties between Azerbaijanis and Turkmens, noting their shared ethnic roots, history, and cultural connections. They conducted a comprehensive exchange of views and cooperation across various fields, including energy, transport, culture, humanitarian affairs, science, and education. The importance of holding Culture Days of Turkmenistan and Azerbaijan and Culture Days of Azerbaijan and Turkmenistan was also underlined.
President Ilham Aliyev and President of the Kyrgyz Republic, Sadr Japarov, participated in the inauguration ceremony of the first phase of the village of Khidrli in Aghdam district.
Khidrli village is located 3 kilometers northwest of Aghdam district center. In October 2022, President Ilham Aliyev and First Lady Mehriban Aliyeva attended the groundbreaking ceremony for the village. The planned area of the village spans over 417 hectares, with provisions for resettling approximately 6,000 people and constructing 1,498 individual houses across the first and second phases. For the first phase, the designated area covers 170.44 hectares, with plans to resettle 719 families totaling 2,951 individuals. In this phase, 719 individual houses have been built, including 263 two-room, 332 three-room, 121 four-room, and 3 five-room homes. In addition, essential modern social infrastructure has been established in the village, including administrative and service buildings. These include a multifunctional administrative building, a club community center, a medical point, an emergency medical aid unit, a guest house for temporary accommodation of education and healthcare workers, a household service facility and workshop, a secondary school, and a kindergarten nursery. Approximately 20% of the village territory is dedicated to green spaces. Presidents İlham and Sadr Japarov inspected the facilities at the Khidrli village kindergarten. Designated for 120 children, the kindergarten includes group rooms, a music room, and sports halls to ensure a comfortable and nurturing environment for children's education and care. Green areas, sports and playgrounds, and recreational spaces have been created around the facility, with solar panels installed on the building's roof. The presidents also visited the club community center in Khidrli village, where they reviewed the facilities. The center features a 190-seat assembly hall, a canteen, dance practice rooms, club rooms, and other administrative spaces, providing comprehensive facilities for various social, cultural, and ceremonial events. The heads of state also visited the Aykol Manas Secondary School in Khidrli village. They first inspected a yurt set up in the school's courtyard, a portable dwelling designated for nomadic lifestyles, which is now promoted by many Turkic peoples in Central Asia for tourism purposes. They then reviewed the facilities within the school. The foundation of the 528 pupils secondary school was laid in April 2024 by Presidents İlham and Sadr Japarov. The school building consists of 5 blocks, including a sports hall block, and spans 2.7 hectares. It includes 21 classrooms, 2 preschool preparation rooms, 2 computer labs, 2 technology rooms, 1 military training room, 3 laboratories, a library, sports and assembly halls, a cafeteria, and other facilities. The school's infrastructure provides comprehensive conditions for students to acquire knowledge at a high level. The school grounds feature a large sports field with a running track, playgrounds, and recreational areas for both students and residents. Presidents İlham and Sadr Japarov met with residents moving into the new homes and presented them with the keys to their houses.
Hassanov Hasan Yusufov.
On July 3rd, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan İlham, President of the Republic of Uzbekistan Shavkat Mirziyoyev, President of the Kyrgyz Republic Sadr Japarov, President of the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus Ersin Tatar, and other participants of the 17th Summit of the Economic Cooperation Organization watched the victory show of Karabakh horses at the Imarat Historical Architectural Museum Complex in Ağdam.
First President of Azerbaijan and the guests conversed at the tea table. Then the victory show of Karabakh horses started. The performance featured national music by a military orchestra, dances by the Sarhatchi Dance Ensemble, and impressive demonstrations of bravery and skill by the cavalry unit of the State Border Service on Karabakh horses. The show was met with great interest, with the cavalry displaying a high level of professionalism throughout. Following the event, the guests toured the city of Aghdan by bus.
President of the Republic of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev, President of the Republic of Uzbekistan Shavkat Mirziyoyev, and President of the Kyrgyz Republic Sadir Japarov visited Shahbulaq Castle in Aghdam on July 3rd.
The Heads of State first posed for a commemorative photo. The Azerbaijani government has begun restoration work on the historic site.
On July 4th, the 17th summit of the Economic Cooperation Organization commenced in the city of Khankandi. President Ilham Aliyev addressed the summit.
President of the Republic of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev welcomed the heads of state and government as well as the heads of delegations participating in the summit. The 17th summit of the Economic Cooperation Organization held in Xankəndi and the participation of numerous heads of state and government attest to Azerbaijan's growing role within the organization and its rising international standing. Hosting this significant event demonstrates that Azerbaijan maintains a proactive position within ECO and that its contributions to regional cooperation are highly valued. This summit will not only further strengthen Azerbaijan's active engagement in regional integration processes, but will also make a substantial contribution to consolidating our country's diplomatic and economic position on the global stage. The choice of Xankəndi, a historic city of Azerbaijan, as the venue for this high-level gathering, attended by many foreign guests, further enhances the significance of the event and carries profound symbolic meaning. The event participants posed for a family photo. Addressing the summit, President Ilham welcomed participants to Xankəndi for the 17th Eco Summit and thanked Kazakhstan for its successful chairmanship. The head of our state noted that Azerbaijan was hosting the summit for the third time, emphasizing the symbolic importance of holding it in Karabakh, a region recently liberated from Armenian occupation. President Ilham Aliyev stated that significant reconstruction was underway in Karabakh, and Zangazorian recalled that Armenia had occupied 20% of Azerbaijan's territory for nearly 30 years, carrying out ethnic cleansing and destroying infrastructure, cultural and religious sites. The head of our state said that Azerbaijan had repeatedly warned Armenia to withdraw peacefully but had to use military force in the 2020 Patriotic War, which resulted in the liberation of over 300 locations. President Ilham Aliyev mentioned the estimated $150 billion in damages and ongoing dangers from landmines, which have caused civilian casualties, and emphasized that resettlement was progressing, with over 50,000 people having returned to rebuild cities and villages. The head of our state welcomed the recent Organization of Islamic Cooperation resolution supporting the right of return for Azerbaijanis displaced from Armenia, and criticized Armenia's refusal to engage with the Western Azerbaijan community. President Ilham Aliyev reaffirmed Azerbaijan's active role in Economic Cooperation Organization and highlighted major regional initiatives, including hosting COP29 and launching Eco-Week events across several cities. The head of our state also mentioned upcoming eco-centers in Azerbaijan and the recognition of Shusha as ECO's 2026 tourism capital. President Ilham Aliyev stated that Azerbaijan had a highly favorable investment climate, noting that nearly $350 billion had been invested in the country's economy over the past 20 years, with half of that amount coming from foreign sources, and added that Azerbaijan currently ensures the energy security of many countries and exports natural gas to 12 countries through various pipelines, emphasizing that the country is among the global leaders in this field. The head of our state expressed confidence in the summit's outcomes and the continued strengthening of regional cooperation. Then the chairman of the 16th Summit of the Economic Cooperation Organization, President of the Republic of Uzbekistan Shavkat Mirziyoyev, delivered a speech. President Shavkat Mirziyoyev expressed pleasure at attending the Eco Summit in Xankəndi and thanked President Ilham Aliyev for the warm hospitality and high-level organization. He acknowledged Kazakhstan's effective chairmanship and welcomed Afghanistan's participation, emphasizing its importance in regional cooperation and connectivity. President Mirziyoyev noted that the summit was taking place during a time of global instability with rising conflicts in South Asia and the Middle East, and condemned military actions against Iran, called for strengthening diplomacy, stressing the need for nuclear weapon-free zones. President of Uzbekistan also urged the resolution of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict through a two-state solution and humanitarian access to Gaza. Emphasizing the strategic importance of economic cooperation and proposed adopting the strategic goals of economic cooperation 2035, President Mirziyoyev highlighted the need to boost trade, investment, digital technologies, and innovation. He noted mutual trade was low and proposed trade ministers meeting in Tashkent, creation of green corridors for agriculture, and an Eco-Invest program to attract private and international investments. the importance of alternative transport corridors, mentioning the China-Kyrgyzstan-Uzbekistan Railway and its future link to the Trans-Afghan corridor was underscored. President of Uzbekistan supported creating a digital transport and customs office and proposed expanding air connectivity and tourism through a national airlines forum in Samarkand and a joint tourism roadmap. President Shavkat Mirziyoyev also called for coordinated climate action within ECO, proposing a transboundary green initiative for afforestation and recreation in desert areas. Finally, President Shavkat Mirziyoyev supported ECO reforms to strengthen its structure and global influence, expressing hope that the summit would energize regional cooperation. The event continued with other speeches. President Ilham concluded the 17th ECO Summit by thanking all participants for their contributions, ideas and proposals. The head of our state underscored that the Khankendi Summit was a clear demonstration of the organization's strong friendship and expressed confidence that the suggestions made would guide ECO's future work, including the 2026 to 2035 development document. President Ilham also thanked the ECO Secretary General of the Secretariat and the contributors to ECO Week's forums before officially declaring the summit closed.
President of the Republic of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev received a delegation of the United Arab Emirates led by Sultan Ahmed Al Jaber, Minister of Industry and Advanced Technology, in Khankendi on July 4th.
The minister conveyed the greetings of the President of the United Arab Emirates, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, to President Ilham Aliyev. President Ilham Aliyev expressed gratitude for the greetings and asked Sultan Al Jaber to convey his own greetings to Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Sultan Al Jaber wished success to the 17th Summit of the Economic Cooperation Organization held in Khankendi. He shared his deep impression of the restoration and reconstruction works underway in Karabakh and East Zangezur, as well as the region's natural beauty. During the meeting, they held a strategic development of relations between Azerbaijan and the United Arab Emirates in line with the vision of both countries' leaders. They emphasized that Azerbaijan and the United Arab Emirates support each other within international organizations. The sides also discussed the operations of the United Arab Emirates Masdar Company in Azerbaijan, cooperation in the field of renewable energy, strategic cooperation programs, and potential future projects in this area. The meeting also touched on cooperation in the fields of energy, tourism, humanitarian affairs, and culture.
On July 4th, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev met with Muhammad Shehbaz Sharif, Prime Minister of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, in Khankendi.
The Pakistani Prime Minister commended the excellent organization of the 17th Summit of the Economic Cooperation Organization, praising Azerbaijan's efforts to strengthen the organization. Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif lauded the development of brotherly relations between the two countries, fondly recalling his visit to the city of Laçın this May and the trilateral meeting held in Azerbaijan, Turkey, Pakistan format. The Prime Minister also noted the extensive restoration and reconstruction efforts underway in Karabakh, including in the city of Khankendi, and emphasized the successful development of bilateral relations between Azerbaijan and Pakistan in all areas, including politics, economy, trade, investment, energy, and other sectors. The President of Azerbaijan expressed his gratitude to the Pakistani Prime Minister for accepting the invitation and participating in the summit. President Ilham Aliyev also recalled with satisfaction the Prime Minister's visit to Laçın and discussions held in the trilateral format. During conversation, the sides held a cooperation between their countries within international organizations and exchanged views on regional issues.
Ilham Aliyev, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, met with Masoud Pezeshkian, President of the Islamic Republic of Iran, in Khankendi on July 4th.
During the conversation, the heads of state emphasized that Azerbaijan and Iran are friendly, neighboring and brotherly countries, noting the existence of cultural, religious, traditional and ethnic ties of kinship and brotherhood between the two nations. President Ilham Aliyev thanked President Masoud Pezeshkian for accepting the invitation to participate in the 17th Summit of the Economic Cooperation Organization, adding that his visit and the meeting held were of great importance for discussing Azerbaijan-Iran bilateral relations, as well as cooperation within the framework of ECO. President Ilham Aliyev noted that President Masoud Pezeshkian's official visit to Azerbaijan in April of this year opened a new chapter in bilateral relations. He emphasized that the topics discussed during that visit are being followed up on consistently by the co-chairs of the Intergovernmental Commission and relevant state institutions. President Ilham Aliyev once again extended condolences on behalf of the Azerbaijani side to the people of Iran over the deaths of Iranian officials and civilians in this confrontation, expressing the solidarity and support of the Azerbaijani state and people with the state and people of Iran. President Ilham Aliyev also stressed that developing relations with Muslim countries, including neighboring states, remains a priority direction of Azerbaijan's foreign policy, highlighting the fact that the ECO summit was held in Khankendi and that Azerbaijan will host the summit of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation next year. President Ilham Aliyev said these developments are further evidence of the trust and respect Azerbaijan enjoys in the Islamic world. President of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Masoud Pezeshkian, congratulated Azerbaijan on the successful organization of the ECO summit, recalling with satisfaction his official visit to Azerbaijan and the meetings held during that trip. He noted that the visit opened a new chapter in Iran-Azerbaijan relations. In this context, he mentioned the increase in flights between Baku and Tehran, Baku and Tabriz, and the progress in constructing the Arband-Kelale highway bridge, as well as cooperation in other areas. The Iranian president expresses gratitude to Azerbaijan for its support and solidarity during the recent confrontation with Israel. During the meeting, the sides also exchanged views on matters of mutual interest, including expanding cooperation within the ECO framework.
On July 4th, Ilham Aliyev, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, met with Recep Tayyip Erdogan, President of Turkey, in Khankendi.
Recep Tayyip Erdogan praised the excellent organization of the 17th Summit of the Economic Cooperation Organization in the city of Khankendi. The Azerbaijani president expresses gratitude to the Turkish president for attending the summit. During the meeting, the presidents hailed the successful development of the brotherly and strategic allied relations between Azerbaijan and Turkey in all areas. Recep Tayyip Erdogan reiterated that brotherly Turkey always stands by brotherly Azerbaijan in all matters and at all times, emphasizing that this has always been the case and will remain so in the future. President Ilham Aliyev thanked President Recep Tayyip Erdogan for his remarks, reaffirming that Azerbaijan, in its turn, always stands by brotherly Turkey in both joyful and challenging times. The presidents also exchanged views on the prospects for future cooperation and other issues of mutual interest.
On July 4th, an official luncheon was hosted in the city of Shusha on behalf of President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, in honor of the heads of state and government, as well as the heads of delegations participating in the 17th Summit of the Economic Cooperation Organization. That was all for the week. Thank you for watching us and stay tuned not to miss the next edition of our program.